LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender individuals. And being competent really means in this context that you're ensuring that your business or your agency is a safe and welcoming place for all of your customers and clients regardless of their sexual orientation and gender identity. It's 2016, why are we still having this conversation? I think the reasons that we're having this conversation is that number one, the whole nation really, and in many ways the world, is talking about these issues and understanding how these issues or how people with differing gender identities or sexual orientation feel comfortable here in our community. It really does come up an awful lot, much more than you would think. Although it's difficult to count all the LGBT people in the world, in 2011 a study showed that 3.5% of adults in the US identified as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, and 0.3% as transgender. 9 million people, which is the population of New Jersey. In 2015, a study showed that 30% of young adults identify somewhere on the bisexual spectrum. So that's 99 million people. And yet, people still are discriminating against people because of who they love or who they are. Employees can still lose their job for being LGBT. I'm a gay single dad. I was denied a promotion and raise because my supervisor told me my lifestyle made her feel uncomfortable. In another example, my girlfriend and I were fired from our jobs, and this was in Crawford County because they got married. Another individual shared, I have a transgender wife. Our secretary came into my office, told me I needed to find the strength to leave my husband because my son needed a positive male role model in his life. Customers are still treated poorly because they are LGBT. One woman reports, my girlfriend and I were asked to leave a restaurant because we were disturbing the family next to us. Another reports, my boyfriend and I are masculine gay men. While eating lunch today, we watched an effeminate man be refused service while we were not. And a third, I'm a transgender woman. As I was coming out of the women's restroom at a local Erie establishment, a woman told security that I was using the wrong restroom. I was escorted off the premises. Clients are also treated poorly because they are LGBT. A trans woman who had a history of being sexually assaulted was forced to stay in an all-male homeless shelter because, quote, of what was between her legs. Upon asking a family doctor for an HIV testing, the nurse left the room and refused to take the patient's blood. This patient had been there for 15 years. A doctor in an inpatient facility refused to renew a patient's antidepressant medication because I don't know how to treat transgender people. Hearing these situations and seeing them over and over again in our wonderful community weighs heavy on my heart and the other board members of GEAE. It makes us realize how much work we have to do because although Erie is a wonderfully diverse city, we realize we can't change people's hearts overnight. Just because a law changes doesn't mean that people's attitudes change or the way they treat others. So it makes us realize how much work we still have to do. And on one hand, it gives us energy, on the other hand, it just makes us sad. A lot of times we have employees that come to us or businesses that come to us and say, how should we word our policies? How should we work our working conditions for people to feel welcome to share things that they may not feel comfortable with? And how can we ensure that our workplace is safe for our employees? And fortunately, GEAE has a great partnership with some businesses that have gone the extra mile to really make their employees comfortable and safe and ensure that their policies, their practices are up to date. So many businesses or agencies might be asking, what are the legal implications, or what are the consequences of not being LGBT compliant. And really what it comes down to is not only do you want to ensure that you are ethically and legally in compliance, but you really just want to make your business the most friendly and welcoming place for all of your customers. And so I think the best way to do that is to have a conversation with us. We'd love to talk with you. You can find us on our website, greatereriealliance.com. You can find us on Facebook at Greater Erie Alliance. And you could also email us at geaeinfo@gmail.com.